Alien Covenant is the 8th installment in the Alien franchise, and it's also the sequel to Prometheus, while also still being a prequel to the first Alien movie. Yeah. And in this installment, the crew of the colony ship Covenant heads to a remote planet on the far side of the galaxy. And when they get there, it seems like a quiet, beautiful place, but then things start to go wrong and shit gets real. So let me just start off by saying that I'm not a massive fan of the Alien franchise. I really like the first two. I thought those were really great sci-fi movies. That being said, I haven't seen 3, 4, or the 2 Alien vs. Predator movies. I've only seen 1, 2, and Prometheus. But I was still really excited going into this movie because I thought the trailers looked really good for it. And going into the movie and leaving, I really enjoyed Alien Covenant. Let me start with the positives first. Every performance in this movie was great. Everyone does a fantastic job in this movie. But the two standouts, easily the two standouts in this movie, are Michael Fassbender and Danny McBride. They both killed it in this movie. I mean, first off, we all knew Michael Fassbender was going to be good. Has he even done a bad performance? Everything I've seen him in is like top-notch performance. It's really great. And Danny McBride, he really surprised me. You know, he's more of a comedian actor, and I thought going into this movie he'd be one of those actors that, you know, isn't like being serious. You know, he's trying to be too funny, but it's not like that at all. He kills it in this movie. He was one of the biggest surprises. Also, the look of this movie is jaw-dropping. Every Ridley Scott movie looks beautiful. You know, it's what he does best. And this film is no different. There's long, wide shots of the planet, and it's just so beautiful to look at. I did have one little gripe, though, in the theater. I don't know if my friends next to me noticed it, but on the screen there was this blue glare going across, and it kind of distracted me from the color of the screen and how the planet looks. I don't know, it's not a negative with the movie, it's just something I noticed and it kind of bothered me a little bit. Also, the movie does a great job in capturing the suspense of everything. You know, there were a couple times in the movie where, you know, the tension's so built up, I was actually shaking a little bit. I was just waiting for it to happen, you know, I was just sitting there waiting, kind of shaking, and when it happens, it's great. You know, I jumped a couple times, and that kind of leads me into one of my first negatives of the movie, and that is there's quite a bit of horror cliches in this movie. For instance, they do that cliche where it's one guy's like, I'm going to go wander off and take a break, and I'm just sitting there like, yeah, he's going to die. And another one they do, someone trips and falls, so like whatever's chasing him can catch up. And I'm just like, really? I thought we were past this already. It's 2017. I thought we were past the whole tripping, you know, ankle hurting thing. I don't know. It kind of bothered me. And also my last negative, at least for me, I noticed that the film kind of struggles shifting from one scene to another. It's like it's this slow scene where we're figuring things out, and then the next scene shit happens and things get really fast. And for me, it had trouble shifting from one to another. I don't know. It might just be me. It just didn't flow well as I hope it would. It didn't happen throughout the movie. It was just a couple times. I just think they could have worked a little harder to make it flow a little better. There's some smaller things that honestly aren't really worth mentioning because they're kind of nitpicky-ish. But overall, I'd be lying if I said I didn't love this movie, because I really did. I walked out wanting to see more, and I hope they make more, because at this point, I'm ready. Just bring it on. I'm ready. Again, there were a few times where the tone could have flowed a little better throughout the scenes, but I can really overlook that because the positives definitely outweigh the negatives for this movie. I'm going to give Alien Covenant 4 stars. I don't personally think it's better than the first two movies, but on its own, it's really enjoyable and really cool. And I also think it's just a hair better than Prometheus. Just a small hair better, though. So let me know in the comments what you guys thought of Alien Covenant, and as always, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. If you like this video, then hit the like button. If you're not subscribed, then click right here. And I'll see you next time.